In today's video, we're just going to be talking about some internet hoaxes I find to be pretty interesting. And before anything, I want to first thank all my patrons for their continuous support. It's thanks to y'all that I'm able to make these videos better and better. Like for example, it's because of y'all I was able to buy FL Studio to produce all the music in this video. So thanks again. And now, for those who are unaware, a hoax is quote a humorous or malicious deception. So an internet hoax is deception spread through a piece of online content, whether that be a video, a picture, or whatever the case may be. And I don't know if you ever had this kind of experience while browsing the internet, but when I was little, I would just fall down many rabbit holes of information and stumble across those articles with clickbait images that look something like this. I don't know in what context I saw this photo in, but I most definitely remember seeing this bizarre image when I was younger, and I don't remember what my initial thoughts were about it. All I know is that I'm pretty sure I thought it was real, but of course it isn't, and I want to talk a little bit more about the contents of this image itself because this will lead us to other interesting hoaxes I want to touch on. This image has been spread around being presented both satirically and seriously with this, quote, photo of what appears to be a strange half woman half dog or pig hybrid mother nursing its young. The image has flooded inboxes around the world, often suggesting that the image is a horrific warning of the consequences of genetic manipulation. Now obviously this image isn't actually of a real creature and it's just a sculpture made by Patricia Pacinini, Patricia Pacinini. Italiano, mamma mia. For her 2003 art exhibition called We Are Family, presented by Rosslyn Oxley 9 Gallery, located in Australia, which actually featured some more bizarre human-animal hybrid type of creatures that are pretty cool and definitely have uncanny vibes, and something about these sculptures and the blobs of what appears to be human flesh are just super creepy. And not only this image, but a lot of hoax images are simply art, with another example of a sculpture being what I refer to as Mimi, as not to get this video age restricted. If you were around any children in early 2019, whether it's a sibling, cousin, etc., you might have heard them talking about a rumor going around about a malicious entity and the challenge associated with it. And I won't be going into too much detail because YouTube doesn't really like me talking about Mimi, which is the reason why I have a video about it and it's only available on my Patreon. But in short, this internet hoax related to children having committed Zeus as a result of playing along with this entity's challenge, which mind you, there's no solid evidence of that being the case, of course was paired alongside this infamous image, which is actually of Japanese origin. In fact, the creator of this sculpture, whose name is Keisuke Iso, is a horror VFX artist that also owns a factory called Link Factory, and according to an interview he did with The Sun, he made it in around 2016 to be showcased in an exhibition. However, with the passage of time it began to rot and was eventually thrown away. We just went over two examples of images associated with hoaxes, which interestingly enough were both sculptures that existed at one point, but now I want to go over images that are a bit different in the sense that they are indeed real images, however they've been altered in a drastic yet convincing way, such as the case with this image. You may have seen this image before, and if you're unaware of what this image implies, allow me to explain. If you've ever watched a movie in your life, you've probably seen this roaring lion before the movie even starts, and this is the infamous MGN lion intro. Yes, this is an actual lion, and no, they didn't tie it down and force it to roar for the camera, and throughout the years, MGM has re-recorded their infamous intro with different lions. And as a matter of fact, there was even a rumor going around that one of the first lions they recorded the intro with actually killed its trainer and assistant. However, this is also a false notion. Going back to the initial image, the story behind it is pretty simple. It's a work of Photoshop magic, and what's actually going on in this photo is, quote, a young lion called Samson has become the star attraction at an Israeli zoo after his life was saved by a vet in a pioneering 9-hour brain operation. And within said operation, at some point, Samson had to get put through a CAT scan, which is of course what is being depicted in this photo. Now there's a lot of these types of hoax images out there, and I found this really cool blog on a site called Bored Panda, which I'll put in the basement below, but it was basically just showcasing a whole bunch of these images. But since we're still on the subject of hoax images, there's yet another image I want to go over that I went over in the past, but I need to go over again because there's a lot of misconceptions about it, that being a creepypasta image called The Rake. And now before we actually, go into it, the misconception that I'm talking about is that the makers of Resistance 3, Insomniac Games, made the image to promote their game. This is actually a false notion, and I'm gonna debunk this hoax right freaking now, bro. So let's get into it right now. You, me, we're like a cow on the scene. Despite a lot of sites saying this image was made by the makers of Resistance 3, they don't have much proof to back this up, and usually what I see is this tweet which doesn't even say much, and I'm pretty sure what happened was whoever tweeted this was like, oh, this image is going viral right now and it kind of looks like Grim, the creature from our game. Let me make this little joke tweet, and boom, it was created. The truth is, the source of this image is from a site called archerytalk.com, where on December 2nd, 2010, a user going by the name Hillbilly Willy posted this image along with others not featuring the rake in it. Now you could check out my video on this subject where I explain the full story, but I'm just gonna leave you with this. This image was making its rounds on the internet a little over a decade ago at this point, and some people were actually under the impression that it was real and that it wasn't merely a work of Photoshop magic. And of course there were skeptics out there, but the point is, a lot of internet hoaxes are spread around, some being images, some being videos, and some being within mobile games. In around February of 2014, rumors on Facebook about an app for kids called Talkin' Angela was being spread, with said rumors being that people were using the game as a means to talk to children and gather personal information. And now let's take a step back, because that's a pretty bold statement to be making, as I think it begs the question, what exactly about the app is prompting people to make these claims? And to answer that question, I think it's important to explain what the app's all about. Nowadays, Talkin' Angela is a virtual pet sort of app, but back then it was a chatterbot, which is basically just software made to mimic human conversation. So with the app's whole gimmick being a virtual friend you can talk to, and this fact along with the popularity of all the other Outfit 7 apps such as Talkin' Tom or Talkin' Ben, it's unsurprising that a rumor / hoax of some kind regarding these apps would eventually be made up. And now, along with the claims of this app being used by people, there was yet another bizarre rumor going around saying that the app was recording users and can be seen in Angela's eyes. On top of that, there was even one story saying, quote, a 7-year-old boy went missing after installing the Talkin' Angela app. What I just now quoted comes from an article by Softpedia. Within it, they link to yet another article written by Graham Cluley, which actually has screenshots of the site where this rumor originally came from, that being Hustlers.com. According to Wikipedia, Hustlers is, quote, a Chicago-based satirical blog. A number of their satirical stories have been mentioned by many established press organizations, such as USA Today and BuzzFeed. And just take a one look at the notable articles below on the wiki page. We could see some pretty bizarre headlines like Jake from State Farm murdered for cheating, or man arrested after making $1 million selling Chuck E. Cheese tokens as bitcoins, or even my personal favorite, employee fired for putting his mixtape in Happy Meals. Those are all obviously fake, so this rumor about a 7-year-old going missing having originated from this website should definitely raise some eyebrows and be taken with a grain of salt, since Hustlers has a history of fabricating crazy stories for clicks. But anyways, what's up, y'all? Chillin' like a villain. Oh my gosh, wow, that is so cool. I'm happy to hear. What am I saying? You know, I wanted to try something a little bit different with this video. It's not as long because, you know, considering I've been pretty much uploading, pushing 20-minute video, like almost, not 20 minutes, like almost 20-minute videos this year, but wanted to try something a little shorter, something a little bit more experimental, trying to, you know, have a list format type of video instead of focusing on one topic, but like try to make it cohesive as if it were one topic. I mean, it is one topic, it's about hoaxes, but I'm bringing up different hoaxes. Anyways, this month, you know, it's a little short, whatever, but I'm really planning on locking in and doing something different. I don't know how to explain it.